You're here because part of you knows you're meant for more. But let's be brutally honest. Your excuses are stealing your future. Every morning you hit snooze, every time you tolerate toxic people, every moment you choose comfort over courage, you're betraying your potential. Right now, you're at war, not with the world, with yourself. That voice saying maybe tomorrow, it's a liar. The fear whispering, you're not ready, it's keeping you trapped. But here's the raw truth. Greatness isn't about perfect conditions. It's about showing up when everything in you wants to quit. Look at your life, the relationships draining you, the habits holding you back, the dreams collecting dust. This isn't bad luck. This is your choices. And today that changes. You don't need motivation. You need a revolution. A complete demolition of the weak mindset keeping you stuck. The clock is ticking. Every second you waste is another you'll never get back. The next few minutes will expose the hard truths you've been avoiding. This isn't feel-good fluff. It's a battle plan for your breakthrough. But warning, this will challenge everything. Your excuses won't survive what's coming. Stay if you're ready to fight. Leave if you prefer your comfort zone. But know this, your future self is begging you to choose wisely. Your comeback starts now. Don't you dare look away. This is where everything begins. Right here, right now. The moment you stop blaming, stop making excuses, stop pointing fingers. That's the moment your life actually starts. Because until you take full, unshakable responsibility for where you are, you will never have the power to change it. Never. Let's get brutally honest. That job you hate, that relationship that drains you, that dream you keep putting off, you allowed it. Maybe not on purpose, maybe slowly over time in tiny compromises. But here's the raw truth. No one is coming to save you. No boss, no partner, no lucky break is going to hand you the life you want on a silver platter. You have to take it. And that starts with looking in the mirror and saying, this is mine to fix, mine to own, mine to change. Think about it. How many times have you told yourself, if only I had more money? If only I had more time. If only I had better connections. Pooh. Those are lies, dangerous ones, because they keep you stuck, waiting for permission that will never come. The people who win in life aren't luckier than you. They're not more talented. They just decided that their life was theirs to command. No excuses, no backup plan, no we'll see. You want proof? Look at anyone who's ever achieved anything extraordinary. They didn't wait for perfect conditions. They didn't whine about unfairness. They owned their situation, even the ugly parts, and said, this is where I start, because ownership isn't just about admitting fault. It's about claiming power. The power to choose your next move, the power to walk away from what's not serving you, the power to say no to distractions and hell yes to what matters. And here's the most liberating part. When you truly embrace this mindset, fear loses its grip on you. Because if you're in control, then failure isn't something that happens to you, it's feedback, a detour, a lesson. You stop seeing obstacles as roadblocks and start seeing them as tests, proof that you're leveling up. But this isn't just about mindset, it's about action. Ownership means looking at your daily habits and asking, is this moving me forward or holding me back? It means cutting off the friendships that drag you down, quitting the job that's killing your soul, starting the side hustle even when you're terrified. It means looking at your bank account, your health, your relationships, and saying, I created this. And if I created it, I can change it. Because here's the secret no one tells you. Control isn't given, it's taken. Every morning you have a choice to react to life or to command it, to wait for someone else to fix things or to grab the wheel yourself. And the moment you choose the latter, that's when the magic happens. That's when you stop being a passenger in your own life and start being the driver. So tomorrow when you wake up, I want you to say it out loud. I am in control of my life. And then prove it, one decision at a time. One bold move at a time, until the world has no choice but to bend to your will, because that's the truth. That's the power. And it's been inside you all along. Let's cut through the noise and get real about something that's been holding you back your entire life. Your addiction to comfort. That warm, familiar, suffocating blanket of safety that keeps you small. That voice that whispers, maybe tomorrow, when you know damn well tomorrow never comes. Here's the cold hard truth. Your comfort zone isn't just a place, it's a prison. And every single day you choose to stay inside its walls, you are betraying the greatness you were meant for. Think about the last time you felt truly alive. Was it when you were playing it safe, following the rules, doing what everyone expected of you? No, it was when you took that leap. When you spoke up even though your voice shook. When you walked away from what was easy to chase what was right. That feeling, that fire, that's courage. And it's the only thing standing between you and the life you're too scared to admit you want. But here's what they don't tell you. Courage isn't some grand one-time gesture. It's a daily rebellion, 1,000 tiny battles fought in the quiet moments no one sees. It's waking up an hour earlier when you're exhausted. It's saying no to toxic people even when you're lonely. It's hitting send on that email, applying for that job, starting that business when every cell in your body is screaming, you're not ready. Because here's the secret, you'll never be ready. The perfect time doesn't exist. The fear never goes away. The doubt never fully disappears. Brave people aren't fearless. They're just more committed to their dreams than they are to their doubts. And let's destroy this myth once and for all. Comfort is not the goal. Comfort is where dreams go to die. It's where passion withers, where potential rots. Look at nature. Nothing grows in safety. A seed has to crack open, to fight through dirt to push toward the sun. You're no different. Your breakthroughs live on the other side of fear. That promotion, it's waiting on the other side of that difficult conversation. That confidence, it's hiding on the other side of that workout you don't want to do. That freedom, it's buried on the other side of that risk you're too scared to take. Now, let's talk about resistance. That sinking feeling in your gut when you know what you need to do, but everything in you wants to run. That's your signal, your compass, the universe pointing you toward your next level. Because here's what's wild. The size of your resistance is directly proportional to the importance of the task. The more you don't want to do it, the more you need to do it. The more it scares you, the more it will grow you. This isn't about being reckless. It's about being alive. The most dangerous risk of all is risking nothing. Because when you risk nothing, you gain nothing, become nothing, and end up with nothing. Look around. The world is divided into two kinds of people. Those who let fear make their decisions and those who make decisions in spite of fear. Which one are you? Every morning you stand at a crossroads. One path is wide, well-trodden, and leads exactly where you've already been. The other is narrow, uncertain, and leads to everything you've ever wanted. Comfort will always try to drag you onto the wide path. Courage is the voice that says, not today. Today you choose the narrow path. Today you choose to feel the fear and do it anyway. Today you choose to disappoint others rather than betray yourself. Because here's what happens when you start choosing courage. You begin to rewrite your identity. Every brave act is a vote for the person you're becoming. At first, it's hard. You'll feel like an imposter. But then something shifts. The more you act with courage, the more courage becomes who you are. Not something you do, but someone you've become. And that's when everything changes. This is your wake-up call. That thing you've been putting off, do it. That conversation you've been avoiding, have it. That dream you've been dismissing, chase it. Not because it's easy, but because you're done letting fear dictate your life. The clock is ticking. The world needs what you have. And comfort was never the goal. Freedom is. Freedom from regret, from what ifs, from the haunting question of what could I have become if I just had the courage to try. So tomorrow, when that alarm goes off, remember, you're not just waking up. You're choosing comfort or courage, familiarity or freedom, the person you've been or the person you're meant to be. The choice is yours, and it starts with 3 words. Today, I choose bravery. Now go prove it. Let me tell you something that will shock you to your core. Your past has absolutely zero power over your future unless you give it permission. That failure, that heartbreak, that mistake that still makes you cringe when you think about it at 3 a.m., it's not your life sentence. It's not your identity. It's just data. And right now, you're letting old data crash the entire system of your potential. Here's the brutal truth. You've been carrying around baggage that was never meant to be yours to keep. That voice telling you you're not good enough because someone said it to you years ago, that's not wisdom. That's emotional debt you never agreed to pay. Those patterns of self-sabotage that keep repeating, they're not your destiny. They're just bad programming you can overwrite starting today. Look at nature. A forest burns to the ground, and from the ashes comes new life, stronger, more resilient, more vibrant than before. That's you. That's always been you. Your scars aren't evidence of damage. They're proof of survival. But here's what's tragic. Most people spend their lives building shrines to their pain instead of monuments to their potential. They frame their failures instead of their comebacks. They let yesterday's storms dictate today's weather. Let me show you how powerful you really are. Every single morning when you wake up, you're handed a blank check of possibility. The only question is, will you sign it with the ink of your past or the pen of your potential? That ex who walked away, they don't get to live rent-free in your mind anymore. That job that let you go, it was never your ceiling, it was just a step. That version of you that made bad decisions, she was doing her best with what she knew at the time. But today you know better. Today you get to choose better. The most dangerous lie we believe is that change takes time. No, change takes a decision, a single moment where you say enough, where you stop asking why me and start declaring try me, where you realize that your past wasn't preparing you for something easier, it was equipping you for something greater. Those late nights crying, they gave you depth. Those betrayals, they gave you discernment. Those setbacks, they gave you stamina. Right now, someone is watching this thinking, but you don't understand what I've been through. You're right, I don't. But here's what I do know. Your pain can either be your prison or your platform. Your wounds can either be your weakness or your wisdom. Your story can either be your shackles or your superpower. The choice has always been yours. This isn't about forgetting where you came from. It's about refusing to let it dictate where you're going. The phoenix doesn't apologize for rising from ashes. It simply soars. The caterpillar doesn't mourn its past form. It becomes. The ocean doesn't cling to yesterday's waves. It keeps moving. That's your assignment starting now. Keep moving. One step, one breath, one decision at a time. Because here's the secret: the most successful people know your past only has the meaning you assign to it. You get to rewrite the narrative. You get to reclaim your power. You get to decide that what happened to you matters less than what happens through you. That voice telling you this is just who you are, it's a liar. You're not who you were. You're who you choose to become in this moment. And this moment, it's yours for the taking. So here's your new morning mantra. Not I'm over my past, but I'm using my past. Not I'm moving on, but I'm moving forward. Not I survived, but I'm thriving. The evidence is all around you. The sun doesn't ask permission to rise again. The tide doesn't negotiate its return. And you don't need anyone's approval to begin again. Your past was a chapter, not the whole book. And today you get to write a new page. Let me hit you with a truth bomb so explosive it might shake your entire existence. The people you surround yourself with are either elevating you or exterminating your potential. There is no neutral. Every conversation, every text message, every moment spent with energy vampires is quite literally stealing time from your destiny. And right now, you're letting them get away with grand larceny of your greatness. Your energy is your most valuable currency, more precious than money, more powerful than talent, more critical than opportunity. Because without it, nothing else matters. Yet every single day, you're allowing toxic relationships to drain your account dry. That friend who only calls to complain, the family member who constantly undermines your dreams, the partner who makes you feel small. They're not just bad company, they're saboteurs of your soul. And you've been letting them sabotage you for far too long. Here's the cold, hard reality check. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Look around. Are your people lifting you to new heights or weighing you down like anchors? Are they speaking life into your dreams or death to your ambitions? Are they matching your frequency or disrupting your signal? Because here's what nobody tells you. Relationships aren't just about connection. They're about contamination. Either you're being contaminated with courage or with cowardice, with vision or with victimhood, with power or with poison. Let me show you how serious this is. Every minute spent listening to someone's negativity is a minute stolen from your creativity. Every hour spent justifying yourself to haters is an hour robbed from your hustle. Every day spent trying to please people who'll never be pleased is a day hijacked from your destiny. You think you're being nice by tolerating toxic relationships? No, you're being cruel to yourself. You're betraying your future to comfort someone else's present. This isn't about being heartless. It's about being strategic. The most successful people in the world aren't just disciplined about their habits. They're ruthless about their relationships. They understand what you're just now waking up to. Some people are like black holes. No matter how much light you pour into them, they'll never shine back. And continuing to try isn't loyalty, it's insanity. I know what you're thinking. But they're family. But we've been friends forever. But I don't want to be alone. Listen closely. Blood doesn't give anyone the right to poison your spirit. History doesn't entitle anyone to hijack your future. And loneliness, it's better to stand alone in your truth than to be surrounded by people who force you to abandon yourself. Here's your wake-up call. Every toxic relationship you maintain is a declaration that you don't believe you deserve better. Every boundary you fail to set is proof you value their comfort more than your calling. Every moment you waste trying to change someone's opinion of you is a moment you're not spending becoming who you're meant to be. The revolution starts today. It starts with looking at your phone and deleting the numbers that no longer serve you. It starts with saying no to gatherings that drain you. It starts with walking away from conversations that diminish you, not with anger, but with absolute certainty, the certainty that your energy is sacred, that your time is non-renewable, that your destiny is too important to be left in the hands of people who don't recognize your worth. Because here's the ultimate truth. When you start protecting your energy like your life depends on it, because it does, something miraculous happens. The right people appear. Opportunities multiply. Your creativity explodes. Why? Because you've stopped leaking power. You've become a fortress of focus, a magnet for miracles. So tomorrow morning when you wake up, I want you to say these words with unshakable conviction. My energy is sacred. My time is precious. My circle is powerful. And then act accordingly. Not out of spite, but out of self-respect. Not with drama, but with decisive action. Because the world needs what you have, but not the drained, depleted version of you. It needs you at full power, fully charged, fully alive. This is your life. These are your rules. That energy of yours, it's not just yours to waste, it's yours to wield. Starting now, no apologies, no exceptions, no regrets. Listen up. Because this right here is where most people lose the game before they even start playing. They hit one setback, face one rejection, experience one failure, and they fold. They let that single moment define them. They crawl back into their comfort zone and spend the rest of their lives wondering, what if I had kept going? Well, I'm here to make sure that's not you. Not today, not ever. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's the fuel. Let's get one thing straight. Failure is not your enemy. Quitting is. Giving up is. Letting a setback convince you that you're not cut out for this. That's the real failure. Because every single person who's ever achieved anything worth remembering has one thing in common. They failed. A lot. But here's the difference. They didn't just fail. They failed forward. What does that mean? It means they took that loss, that rejection, that embarrassment, and they used it. They dissected it. They asked, what did this teach me? Instead of, why does this always happen to me? They didn't just fall down. They studied the ground, figured out what tripped them, and made damn sure they never slipped the same way again. Excuses are the chains that keep you locked in mediocrity now. Let's talk about the real killer of dreams. Excuses. I don't have enough time. I'm not ready yet. It's too hard. Sound familiar? These aren't reasons. They're prison bars you've built around yourself. And every time you repeat them, you reinforce them. Here's the truth. You will never feel ready. You will never have the perfect conditions. You will always be afraid. But the people who win, they do it scared. They do it tired. They do it while the world tells them no. Because they know this one unshakable truth. Excuses don't make your life easier. They make it smaller. The most dangerous lie you tell yourself, the biggest lie you've been sold, is that failure means stop. That if something doesn't work the first time, it's a sign you're on the wrong path. That's bullshit. Failure is a sign you're in the game. It means you're pushing limits. It means you're growing. Think about it. When was the last time you failed at something that didn't matter to you? Exactly. You only fail at things you care about. So if you're failing, congratulations, you're playing for something real. Now the question is, are you going to let that failure break you, or are you going to let it build you? The bounce back mindset, this is where champions are made. Not in the wins, not in the easy moments, but in the comebacks. When life knocks you down, you have two choices. Stay down and accept defeat, or get up and say, is that all you've got? Every time you choose to rise, you train your resilience muscle. And just like in the gym, the more you work it, the stronger it gets. Soon, setbacks don't devastate you. They motivate you. Rejections don't crush you. They focus you. Because you've built a mind that doesn't fear failure. It expects it, learns from it, and comes back harder. Your new rule: no 0 days. From this moment forward, you operate by one rule: no 0 days. That means no matter what happens, no matter how bad the failure, you never let a day pass without taking at least one step forward, even if it's small, even if it's messy, even if you're scared. You keep moving. Why? Because momentum is everything. One step today leads to 2 tomorrow, then 5, then a sprint, then a breakthrough. But it starts with refusing to let failure freeze you. The world needs your comeback story right now. Someone out there is watching you. Maybe it's your younger sibling. Maybe it's a friend who's too afraid to start. Maybe it's your future self, looking back, praying you didn't give up. Your story isn't just for you, it's for them. So the next time you fail, because you will, I want you to hear this. Your failure is not the end. It's the plot twist in your hero's journey. The part where everyone thinks you're done, but you're just getting started. The part where you dig deeper than ever before and find out what you're really made of. The choice is yours. You can either be the person who quit when it got hard, or you can be the person who looked failure in the face and said, "You're not enough to stop me." The first version of you stays stuck. The second version, that's the one who changes everything. So tomorrow when you wake up, I want you to say these words like your life depends on it. I am stronger than my excuses. I will fail forward. Then prove it, one comeback at a time. Let me shake you awake with a truth so electrifying it will rewire your entire existence. Mediocrity isn't something that happens to you. It's something you permit. Every time you accept good enough when you're capable of greatness, every time you lower your standards to match those around you, every time you shrink to make others comfortable, you're not being humble. You're committing treason against your potential. And that stops today. Your life isn't determined by circumstances. It's dictated by your standards. The unbreakable, non-negotiable rules you set for how you operate, who you allow in your space, and what you accept from yourself. Right now, you're either being pulled upward by your standards or dragged downward by your compromises. There is no middle ground. The most dangerous negotiation you'll ever make is the one where you bargain with your own greatness. Here's what the elite understand that most never will. High standards aren't restrictions. They're liberation. When you refuse to tolerate half-hearted effort from yourself, when you decline to participate in petty drama, when you eliminate anything that doesn't align with your vision, you're not missing out. You're leveling up. The world's most successful people aren't lucky. They're ruthless. Ruthless about their time. Ruthless about their circle. Ruthless about their standards. Because they know this cosmic law. What you tolerate, you cannot change. Let's expose the lie you've been sold, that setting high standards makes you arrogant. No, setting high standards makes you awake. When you demand excellence from yourself, you give others permission to do the same. When you refuse to settle, you become a living example of what's possible. That coworker who laughs at your discipline, they'll be asking for your advice in 5 years. That friend who mocks your ambition, they'll be watching your success from the sidelines. Because here's the secret they don't want you to know. Standards are contagious, and yours are either infecting people with mediocrity or inspiring them with possibility. This isn't about perfection, it's about progression. The version of you that partied instead of prepared, that scrolled instead of studied, that complained instead of created, that version is dead. The new you, the one reading these words right now, you don't make exceptions for laziness. You don't negotiate with distraction. You don't compromise with fear. Your new normal is operating at a frequency most people can't even comprehend, let alone compete with. I need you to understand this at a cellular level. The moment you raise your standards, the universe rearranges itself to meet them. Opportunities you never imagined appear. People you used to admire become peers. Goals that seemed impossible become inevitable. Why? Because when you stop accepting less, life stops offering less. When you stop tolerating mediocrity, mediocrity stops tolerating you. Let's talk about your environment, that toxic workplace, those draining relationships, those habits that keep you stuck. They're not just obstacles, they're evidence. Evidence of standards you've set too low. Evidence of battles you've stopped fighting. Evidence of a version of you that's been asleep at the wheel. But today you're taking back control. Today, you're declaring war on anything that doesn't serve your highest self, not with anger, but with absolute certainty, the certainty that you were born to dominate, not just participate. Here's your wake-up call. Every time you tolerate bad behavior, you train people how to treat you. Every time you accept subpar results, you teach yourself what you're capable of. Every time you stay where you're not growing, you're choosing comfort over calling. The math is simple. The higher your standards, the higher your life goes. The more you demand of yourself, the more the world delivers to you. This is where most people fail. They set goals without setting standards. They want the body without the discipline, the business without the grind, the relationship without the work. But you're different. You understand that standards are the bridge between where you are and who you're becoming, that discipline isn't punishment, it's power, that every no you say to distraction is a hell yes to your destiny. So starting now, you operate differently. You don't compare yourself to others. You challenge yourself to outdo your personal best. You don't seek validation. You establish valuation. You don't hope for opportunities. You create inevitabilities. Because you've tasted mediocrity and it's bitter. You've seen what settling creates and it's terrifying. You've witnessed where compromise leads and you refuse to go there. The world needs what you have, but not the watered-down, people-pleasing, self-doubting version. It needs you at full power, full conviction, full expression. And that only happens when you stop negotiating with your standards and start enforcing them like the laws of your personal universe. Remember this, giants don't adjust themselves to fit small rooms. Eagles don't lower their altitude to fly with pigeons. And you don't dim your light to accommodate someone else's darkness. The moment you stop asking for permission to be great is the moment you become unstoppable. The game was waiting for you all along. Now, go change it.